Now from London by Zoe Gardner, who's a migration policy expert. Zoe, welcome to the programme. Thanks for joining us here. First up, what do you make of the British government's policies?
Well, thank you for having me this evening. Yeah, I mean, it's the classic dog whistle politics, isn't it? Every week a different group of foreigners that we're going to bash about the head and use as a political football to kick about. It doesn't do the country any good at all. We completely, disregard the fact that a lot of migrants who are listening to the national conversation, are reading the news, are listening to these programs. They're human beings. They deserve more respect than this. These are people who've come to the country and made a massive contribution. They bring so many positives, but the government has nothing to stand on, nothing to promote about its legacy of the last 13 years. We have a country that's falling to pieces, and the cost of living soaring, the NHS in crisis, and every week we seem to see just the government turn around again and say, oh, actually, the problem is immigration. But actually, I don't think that the British people agree with that at all. I don't think we have any problem at all with foreign students coming here. And this policy is just economic self-harm for nothing.
But is the government not right to try and stem the flow to the degree of which it seems to be reaching? We're talking about an expected 700,000 to be announced. It does need to get that down, doesn't it?
Why? I haven't heard a single government minister get asked, why do we want to bring down the rate of immigration? I don't think we need to bring down the rate of immigration at all. I think it's brilliant that so many people want to come and build their lives in the UK, and bright young people want to study here and enhance the cultural life in our universities and our knowledge economy. I think all of that is great news. I don't see any reason why we just have to bring immigration down. And I think that Rishi Sunak doesn't know why he wants to bring immigration down either. I think he thinks it plays well with the public, and I think he's wrong about that, but that's his only reason for doing this. We just heard about the huge economic contribution that these migrants make. There isn't any reason to do this. I don't see any good reason at all for reducing the numbers of immigrants just because we should. Why?
Well, Braverman says housing, for one thing. She says that there's insufficient housing.
There is insufficient housing. Well, actually, there's a lot of houses standing empty in this country, hundreds of thousands of houses standing empty because wealth is not adequately shared in this country. So that's one thing. But it's true that the government has completely missed its target year on year on year on year for building affordable, sustainable housing in this country. And all of us, whether that's people who are born here or people who are born elsewhere, deserve to have access to affordable, decent quality housing. And the government has failed us on that front. But that needs to happen as a matter of course, regardless. What we need to do if we need more houses, we need to invest in building more housing. Isn't it great that so many of the immigrants who come here work in construction jobs? Actually, immigrants don't take away from housing. They're not a net minus. They bring so much to us as well as the skills to build houses. They work in our other institutions, in our schools, in our hospitals. Immigrants aren't the problem. The problem is the government that has no idea how to run the country.
Zoe, appreciate your insight. Thanks very much indeed. Zoe Gardner, migration policy expert. Thanks a lot.